Have you wondered why we all secretly love to watch masala movies? Masala movies are an amalgamation of different genres. So you have romance, comedy, action, and the occasional dance sequences, which is over the top. The reason why masala movies work is because they cater to the fans and they bring in the money. Welcome to today's episode where we're not going to talk about why masala movies work. Instead, we're going to talk about how masala movies can step up their game and cater to today's modern Indian audience's taste. I believe that having a charismatic, larger-than-life hero helps. After all, he's going to fill up 75% of the film's runtime. But the hero can only take up the audience interest up to a certain point. From there, it is the plot that's going to elevate the interests of the audience. That is why the hero can be big, but he can't be bigger than the script. Eklavyan was a Suresh Gopi star vehicle, but its success lied in the fact that the viewers were more invested in the overall bigger picture, and that was its constantly progressing plot. If the makers rely on the hero's quirks and style only without really having any conflicting interests, the film is going to be so redundant that even a superstar can't save it. As a cinema lover, and I'm sure you guys would agree when I say that when we watch a film, we try to find the film's emotion at a subconscious level. The character's action should be driven by a comprehensible emotion, otherwise people fail to connect with the story. Rajamanikam is as over the top as it can get, and yet it's a film with heart because it makes us feel for Bellari Raja's unrequited maternal love. But then 9 out of 10 such films cash in on the family sentiment. Do they all work? No. So maybe the real skill lies in weaving an emotional core in the hero. Why is it that many masala movies glorify toxic behaviors when it just can be shown? Stars have the freedom to choose their roles. They can play anti-heroes, they can play characters that do morally unjust acts. The only clause is that such acts shouldn't receive a nod of approval within the film's universe. Unfortunately, many celebrated films in the past are rooted in regressive ideas. For example, in Narasimham, the hero's sexist dialogues are shown in a celebratory fashion. Such glorification should be avoided because ultimately it is a film for the Pavam Janagodigal, many of whom may not think twice about imitating their heroes or being misogynistic, homophobic douchebags. This is partly the fault of a gullible audience, but until that is fixed, makers need to be mindful. When you watch a masala movie, you expect certain things from the hero, right? But when makers resort to spoon feeding us with expected outcomes, our excitement naturally drops. That's why it's important to surprise the audiences. Don't give us exactly what we want. Rajamanikam came at a time when people didn't think Mammootty could pull off comedy. Similarly, Big B was released at a time when a mass hero had to speak punch dialogues at length to make his point. People were awestruck at Mammootty's game-changing portrayal of Bilal. There are a wide range of ways to surprise our audiences. Make actors play characters that go against their own stereotypes. Build cinematic universes. Bring in different shades of genres like sci-fi convincingly. So much potential. Another thing that Bollywood should stop entirely is casting non-Malayalis to play villains. This is mostly an after effect of the 90s, a time when many popular villains like Rautar from Vietnam colony and Haider Marukyar from Dhruvam were played by faces unknown to Malayalis. But today it has reached a state where a Hindi actor cast in a Malayalam speaking role says his lines in Hindi and Vineet sweeps in to dub it into Malayalam. Why waste so much effort when you can use the resources to hire a good writer to write good villains? When the villain is deftly written as the hero, like in Devasuram, it calls for an interesting face-off. Moreover, the protagonist and antagonist need not have to always be black and white characters. They can be righteous people, but with shades of grey. Minnal Murli had a great villain. He was evil, yes, but we understood why he thought he was doing the right thing. There was a time when supporting characters were either the hero's aides or the villain's aides, but their roles were memorable. This was probably because they had great character arcs or because their roles were so powerful that it challenged the actors playing them. But today you don't see that depth. If makers of the film give supporting characters agency where they're an indispensable part of the central plot, then I think it would be a game changer for masala movies. Now let's talk about punch dialogues. First of all, not every dialogue should be punch dialogues. There needs to be some exclusivity. From just remember that to a crisp and clever punch can bring the house down and it can be a part of pop culture too. But unwarranted and not so subtle punches like
Mass cool.
don't excite audiences anymore. Rather, they end up becoming lame as memes. We've had so many iconic slow motions and BGM sequences in the early 2000s that there's even a gag about it in CID Musa.
ആദ്യം സ്ലോ മോഷനിൽ നടക്കാൻ പഠിക്കും രജനീകാന്തിന്റെ ചിത്രങ്ങളിലൊക്കെ കാണാറില്ലേ.
But these films had well etched out characters, strong dialogues, and great performances, all of which resulted in the characters being cemented in our hearts. One cannot rely on slow motions or punch dialogues to elevate an underwritten film. One cannot use boss da master throughout the duration of the film just to hypnotize the people into believing that it's a mass movie. The taste of today's audiences have changed drastically. They've exposed themselves to best screenplays. They can even sit through a lag now. So if the film does not require a dance sequence or a comedy bit, do not force it. Just chop it off, please. Tallumala is a great example of weaving comedy, music and action into the screenplay. The script called for it. The music in a lot of ways add values to the screenplay, and so does the action. You see what I'm talking about? Why haven't we had a mass heroine, by the way? At a time when female-oriented films have found their footing in Mollywood, is it too outlandish to expect an out-and-out masala film where the female lead is kicking some ass? We've seen the potential earlier in many films, from Manju Warrior's Kannezhudi Pottum Tottu to Reema Kalingal in 22 FK and Vani Vishwanath in most of the films she's done. The Tamil industry has already ventured into this territory and achieved moderate success with Jackpot. So, Mollywood, are you even listening? Okay, so that's it. Now, this was a really long video. My back's hurting shooting this, but I hope I said some valid points, right? Here's hoping that some filmmaker or scriptwriter watches this video and gives us some insane mass Mollywood movie that hopefully comes out in the near future. If you like this video, do comment your thoughts, and even better, do contest my own points and let's chat in the comment section. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, share and subscribe to PinkLungi.
Have a tea break.